Arriving at National Indoor RV Centers on the right.
We're going to stuff this in somewhere. So right away we'll take the toad off so that if there is a spot, you'll go drive the toad, save the spot, and then we'll figure out how we can get the rig in it.
You've arrived.
Oh, there's a spot. What the heck are you doing here, Sue?
Marco, I'm waiting.
What are you waiting for?
So we checked in, and now we're waiting for them to pull our rig in. And well, what the heck, it's a beautiful day. May as well make the most of it and get my vitamin D. You should be out here too, Mark. Take that jacket off. Come on out.
Okay. Well, honey, I want to quiz you. How much did you pay attention to Woo? What are we having done today on our first day of our scheduled 3 days of repairs?
Is this a quiz?
Yes.
I know we're having our Rettrobands done.
Ding, ding, ding. That's it.
That's it?
That's it today.
Okay.
Today we're going to go in and have our Rettrobands taken out. It was the design level 1.0. There was a slight problem in a handful of units of the 1000 that were installed. They came up with a new design, 2.0. National Indoor has decided to replace all of the existing units at no charge to make certain that they have a perfect setup, because they know that if you invest in the Rettroband, it's kind of a legacy product that will travel with your van, and it's actually a selling point that you want to bring up when you finally sell your RV, to tell them, hey, I also have the Rettroband safety run flat tire device on my rig. So we're going to film how that goes, see what they look like when they come out. I'm expecting it to look like brand new, because ours were installed by University Tire about a year ago, isn't it? Yeah, and we've had no issues with it, and we'll record them coming out as well as the new ones going in. So the way things work at National Indoor RV is when you bring your rig in, you get assigned a service writer, which is kind of a project manager for your coach, and you're either assigned as a drop-off person or a waiter. And if you're a waiter, you are of course waiting for your vehicle to be worked on, and you in fact are living in it, because when you come here you have the option to plug in to one of the sockets that they have along the way here, and you can see all along here is 50 amp hookups, and all along here, and it pretty much the whole perimeter of this place has hookups for you to plug your rig in, so that your refrigerator and your air conditioning units will be okay, and you just have to manage your water use.
So we're going to check out what the other bands look like. They said they have quite a pile back here, I can imagine.
So as Matt said, these are the Rettrobands for the 295s, and you can see that it has a notch in it for any TPMS systems that are mounted to the rim on your coach, your OEM TPMS system, not an add-on one like I have. So here's a good shot of the 365 version. the BT365 for the 365 tires, and you can see that it's the same cross section of gadget that the 315s has, except it has this additional wing on each side to take up the width on the inside of the actual wheel itself. So this design is strong enough for the big giant requirements on the really big coaches. So when you have the 315s, you got a pretty awesome setup. It looks like there is some size difference when they go down to the 295s. You know, this would be like a diamond heist, stealing all of these. Coming in here with a rig,
right?
it really would.
Especially now, yeah.
Yeah. So why is the version 1 being replaced with the version 2? Well, you see that distance of, let's call it polyurethane material, that is the meat in between where the hole is and the end of the Rettroband itself. It turns out on a handful of the units that were over-tightened, there was some fatigue that happened at that position. And that has since been solved by the new version 2 that in fact has a steel band in it that will take the tensile load when these two barrel nuts are tightened with that gearbox and threaded unit to keep everything tight and snug around the hub of the wheel. Are these things heavier than the yellow ones? I'm
a little bit, yes.
Theoretically getting mine.
They have a metal core inside.
Yeah.
And then the rubber's more rubber versus what poly.
They make them black just from an ID standpoint to know which ones you got.
They look different no matter what.
Mm-hmm.
They're
That's true.
I think we still have a display one up front.
Yeah.
You can definitely see the differences.
The steel band that's in there, it's basically in the center of that cross section.
Yes.
Yeah.
Basically, this whole chunk, because we've looked into it, and it's mostly all a solid steel core and then just molded rubber on top.
How different does it feel when you're snugging this thing up? I mean, can you tell that there's a steel band in there that's taking the tension?
No, it pretty much tightens up just like the other ones.
Yeah. When you tighten it down, it's snug on the wall of the wheel, so you can't rotate it at all, right?
No, once it's torqued to spec, because we now torque these at 25 foot-pounds. Once it's snugged, it's not going to spin while driving down the road.
Okay. All right, Matt, I'll try not to ask too many questions. I'll just take some pictures here while we're going.
All right.
So when you touch these things in real life, they are super heavy-duty, bomb-proof material, and I can see that being a substantial safety item. If you end up driving on your compromised tire and that is inside your wheel well holding up your coach, I can see it doing the job easily. Here's the surface that's setting on the inside of your rim. These are the barrel nuts. Really substantial, heavy. Probably has to be at least an inch in diameter with this threaded section. Just like the original design, where when you crank that nut, that ratchet will relieve itself, and once it's tight, it'll stay tight, and the only way to loosen it is to push away and defeat that ratchet so that you can rotate into a loosening mode. So this is the kind of equipment you want to see touching your tire. You can see that it's got a form-fit die that comes up against the bead of your tire to be able to break the bead. They put some lubricant on it, and shortly they'll be able to roll that tire off the rim. So on late model motorhomes, it turns out that the tire TPMS temperature and pressure sending units are mounted to steel bands that reside inside your tire. So the Rettroband had to be designed to have notches or spaces provided to be able to basically sit next to or beside these sending units that had to be reinstalled back into your wheel.
And then I'll put the tops together, put the bottom in one side and leave the other side out.
Uh-huh.
And I'll show you how it kind of helps installing it.
Yeah, I can see you can put that gearbox in wrong with the face tilting the wrong way.
This little pawl,
Yeah.
so the taller end will go on the rim itself.
Yeah.
And then the bands have a little cutout here that the whole gearbox is just going to fit inside once it starts closing up on itself. And basically all we do is we get an even gap once it starts getting snug, and then finish the torque down to 25 foot-pounds.
Mm-hmm.
So this is the easy part out here.
So watch how slick this equipment is to give them enough room to easily stuff the Rettroband in. Wow.
So this will just give me enough room to start it, and then I'll get rid of this and kind of manually just snake it in. Get it kind of started. Slowly roll with it. Pretty much the hardest part of the whole thing is just then lining up that last turnbuckle there.
Oh, so you're able to rotate it so that you can actually work at it on a normal.
Yep.
Yeah.
And it's just a matter of finding that fine line where I can hold up the one side and start the turnbuckle so it doesn't bottom.
And I see you're still putting the Nirvcs on together.
Correct. So now I'll just go in my hand on each side until it gets to an even gap. Here's a good number. It shows you with that extra weight in there, 0.006 shows it's not really flopping around in there.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that extra weight's not messing with it.
Yeah.
Now, to find 13 ounces of it, you can kind of like, if you accidentally hit it,
Yeah.
so you don't lose your spot.
Wow. I like that. So you're putting 13 ounces on there?
Yep. With that little extra weight, it does help. But I've seen it go up to 18. Be okay. It's got this little kind of curvature here.
Yeah.
So that kind of just clips on.
That's it. That's just like the automotive style.
Same exact thing, just on a bigger scale.
Okay. Well, I have centromatic balancing discs, thinking that if they fall off, that'll do to take the trick. So when do you know when to stop doing iterations? When it tells you like you're good?
Like right now I need to add 1 ounce to this section here.
Yeah.
And then it'll be all zeroed out.
Okay.
And even though that 1 ounce you probably won't even feel the size of vehicle it is.
Yeah.
Still good to do it right. Check it again. There you go. So now you got perfectly balanced wheel.
Wow. I wanted to grab this while I could. This door is very rarely open because how valuable this bay is to be occupied with a rig that's getting painted. For all I know, the one that just fired up has got a back in here. At any rate, you can see how awesome this is for a RV place to have a dedicated bay that's air controlled, dust controlled.
Oh, look at the lighting too.
Super lighting. Yeah. This is where all the magic happens in here. A company doesn't get this big and extensive by not doing everything that they can to try to do everything right. National Indoor RV Center's goal is to have RV centers spread out throughout the United States, and so far they have 5 of them. We actually had service at 3 of the 5 shown here. Now, if you go to the playlist section in our YouTube channel, you'll be able to see our experiences not only at National Indoor when we were there, but how it turned out at Gaffney Freightliner and the mothership, Newmar, as well as a couple of other mobile instances that we had some work done. You look at all of the people that are showing up here and getting service and buying coaches and storing coaches. It's very impressive. If you'd like to see a video on how this wash station works, we actually did one where there was a lot less equipment in the way, and you get a pretty good idea on how that wash bay works. Here's a great example that this place is not just for storing luxury motorhomes. You have a nice Forest River smaller Class C. You've got somebody's Jeep that's probably someone's tow vehicle. Right in front of that Solitude, you've got a little smart car. Pretty much just anything that needs to be in a protected, heated environment out of the elements. This is your place. So if you're one of the jockeys moving around these rigs, you are an expert at precision parking. Take a look at this. All the way through the building. They're all lined up. Yep. And they're all plugged in if that's what you want.
So what, are you looking to buy a new one, Mark?
Always looking. That's why we're going to the Tampa RV show this year, which I'll put up in the corner when the show is, and we'll be at the show at a number of booths of products that we use and love and want to help promote. So we're going to be there and get a chance to meet more people, because Sue's really awesome to be with. But I need to meet some more people too.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
You're Mr. Friendly.
And meet people we did. We probably met at least a dozen people while we were here at National Indoor RV. And on screen here are some of the subscribers that we actually remembered to take a photograph of when we had our camera. Now, we would like to thank not only the people on screen here, but everyone else that stops in every Sunday and checks out Sue and I and our adventures and sees all of the different things we're doing and helps support the channel week after week. Now, Bob is kind of a special case here. When he bumped into us, he was so excited that his enthusiasm just rubbed off on us. And he was pretty distraught that his wife, Joy, wasn't going to be there to meet us. So what we did was we cooked up a plan that we would have a little vignette here that we would include in a future video, so that some Sunday when they were sitting down in the future, all of a sudden her handsome husband would pop on screen. Bob's gonna show us his rig paint.
He's storing it here.
Yeah, okay. Wow, at National Indoor, he's storing it. It's right here. Wow. Wow. You're my best friend. I've always wanted to know somebody that has a King Air.
Well,
Me too.
me too.
Wait, I thought you said it was white.
Yeah, it's right over here.
Oh,
This little one.
okay. Now here's where Bob proves he really watches the channel.
Now, before you go
Oh,
in, I
this
gotta
is
tell you,
nice.
just so you know, we do not have an emergency door in case there's a fire inside.
Mm.
We do have several fire extinguishers. I don't
There
think
you
it will
go.
be up to your standard, though.
Yeah,
Well,
you know him then.
We're actually doing we're going to do a segment on Protang. We're getting Protang installed today, so or not today, tomorrow. So
Isn't this a nice segue into it?
Yeah, we're going to be about as safe as you can get here.
Yeah.
Then the only thing I'm going to have to do is I'm going to have to buy fireproof underwear
Oh my
and
God.
shirts.
Yeah,
and
I gotta have it.
That might help.
I'm
And a
good.
hat. And a
Yeah,
hat.
does Joy know that you're negotiating as we speak to trade this new one for our old Dutch Star?
She's not aware yet, but when I get home,
Maybe
we'll have a
she's
chance to
not.
talk about
No,
it.
now see, here's the deal. Don't tell her, and if we can edit this and put this in a good spot in the video, she'll find out that we've already negotiated this. We're going to continue to get the repairs done so that we're giving you as new a rig as we
Oh my
can
gosh, Mark.
with the new versions of the Rettrobands. And then we're going to take this one because you did say that you just picked it up and it's new. What year is this one?
This is a 2021.
Okay, honey, that's good enough for us, isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay.
We'll take it.
All right, sign off. See ya. Bye-bye. All right, don't let him talk anymore because he'll drive up the price and then it won't be an even trade.
Price, yeah.
So Bob's a pretty smart guy. When he got home, he knew he had two problems. He still had to get his wife Joy over to meet us, so he cooked up a great plan and invited us out to dinner at a really nice Italian restaurant. We got to meet Joy and have some laughs, and then after I had a few drinks in me, he knew he could bring me down to reality and say, you know, Mark, I was really just kidding about trading even up for Miles.